Golf Central. Brought to you by TaylorMade.
The top story on Wednesday, March 7th, Tiger Woods ready to make his first ever start at the Valspar Championship tomorrow afternoon live on Golf Channel. Tiger's preparation including 9 holes Tuesday with Ryder Cup captain Jim Furyk, vice captains Davis Love III and Steve Stricker. Today, Tiger played 18 holes in the Pro-Am, and tomorrow it all counts for real. 12:46. How about this star-studded tee time? Tiger with Jordan Spieth and Henrik Stenson. And for that, we say hello to you. Welcome into Golf Central. Ryan Burr joined by Trip Eisenhower. And Trip, this time tomorrow, we will have a great idea of how Tiger fared in his first round of the Valspar Championship. Knowing this golf course as well as you do, what kind of fit is the Copperhead course with what we've seen from Tiger thus far?
Well, it's going to be a tough fit. I mean, there's some good things about it and some bad things about it for him, but you got to strike the ball well. And in particular, these are some difficult fairways to hit. The good news for Tiger is you can play around his weakness so far that's been there every single time, and that's been the driver. But he's got to get the tee ball in the fairway to take advantage of these difficult hole locations in these tiny green complexes.
Let's take a look at the Pro-Am, see if that gives us any indicator of how Tiger is hitting it thus far. Of course, out very early this morning, sun barely up. The first hole is a par 5.
Yeah, and he found the fairway there. That's what I'm talking about. This is a par 5 you can take advantage of. Plenty of room over to the left of this green. It does slope away from him from there, so a really chip shot he's got to pay a little attention to. But again, Ryan, Pro-Am pins, they're typically right in the middle of the green, and, well, that's in the middle of the green. Made that shot a lot easier, and a quick birdie for Tiger.
Yeah, right off the bat, a birdie. Another par 5 at the 5th.
Yeah, and the pine straw right there. This is the thing. When you stray on this golf course, you're in trees, you're in pine straw, you're in difficult areas. Here's his 4th from the bunker. And Tiger's short game has been really solid except for at Riviera. It's been really good every time he's played, and there you can see Tiger's short game once again solid.
The say par looking good. Now the par 3 8th.
Yeah, the 8th hole down the hill. One of 5 par 3s here. That's another advantage for Tiger. I'll get to that in a minute. But again, the downhill par 3 and a miss wide right. They've made this green quite a bit bigger over the years, but you can see how high the grass is, Ryan. You can get some really buried lies in that grass, but Tiger a little disappointed with that 9 feet away. A putt with quite a bit of break in it. And again, I love this putting stroke. One of the best putters in history, no question. And the putter's been pretty solid again, except for Riviera.
Right. Tiger, of course, had the week off after Honda, and that allowed him to get back into the gym.
For me, as I play, start deteriorating a little bit, as the week goes on, because you're not lifting for gains, you're lifting for warm-up, so it's totally different. So this week was a positive week to get in the gym and get after it again.
Tiger, you've never played Valspar before. Ultimately, what led your decision to play here?
Well, to be honest with you, it's because I only got 2 rounds in LA. I felt really strong afterwards. I hadn't, didn't know how I was going to feel. Then after playing, Honda and really feeling good about it, I wanted to push myself in my practice sessions, which I did. Push myself in the gym a little bit, and felt that, hey, I can handle 2 weeks in a row. I did it in LA, I did it in Honda, even though I didn't play, 4 rounds at LA, but I got in 2, and I felt like I can handle, 2 weeks in a row. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here.
Tiger, if you take motivation from any of your peers, you get more from the young guys today, or does Phil winning do more for you in that regard?
Oh, it's both. It's both. I mean, to watch the young guys do what they're doing, that's what they're supposed to do. They come out on tour, they've established themselves. This is, their generation. This is what they're supposed to do. What Phil's doing is showing us, we can still do it, later on in our careers. Davis did it at 51, I believe. Phil at 47. I think Kenny Perry won a handful of events post 45, 46. So there are a few guys that can do it late in their career, and for me, I'm ecstatic just to have a chance to play again and to have a chance to win golf tournaments and compete. There was a while there where I didn't look like I was ever going to be out here again, and not in the capacity of a professional player. but here I am playing again, and it's a lot of fun.
Is there anything you wish you could have done or would have done with the knee problems and the back problems to keep from it getting as bad as it did?
Well, I think that as an athlete, you're always pushing yourself, right? And the best ones push themselves beyond human limits. And, you know, that's what separates them. They go through pain, they go through different things that most people are unwilling to do. And, you know, you ask Gretz, you know, how he's feeling now, and what he did training that people don't see, you know, they see it on the ice, but they don't see it, you know, what he's doing in the rink, like away from the games. And same thing with MJ, same with a lot of guys. And I happen to be one of those guys that pushed my body and pushed my mind to accomplish the things that I knew I could, and I was able to do it.
So first ever start tomorrow at the Valspar Championship. Taking a look at Tiger's first start in PGA Tour events since 2010. Did find lightning in a bottle at the Wyndham Championship in 2015. Found himself on the top of the leaderboard over the weekend. Ultimately finished in a tie for 10th. So Tiger out there very, very early this morning to start his Pro-Am, and there every step of the way. Our own Steve Burkowski. We go live to Innisbrook. Burko, how did Tiger look to you?
Ryan, it was bright and early, 6:50 a.m. He got things going in Wednesday's Pro-Am, and some observations watching him play today. Didn't miss a fairway on the front nine, hitting a variety of different clubs off of the tee, so that's a very positive sign for Tiger. He also hit 6 drivers throughout the course of 18 holes and hit the fairway 4 of 6 times. Also another positive sign. The short game, very, very solid. The iron game, though, a bit indifferent here in Wednesday's Pro-Am. Distance control appearing to be the big issue, but consider the fact it was very windy and blustery throughout the course of the day. Tiger did save one of his best iron shots for last at 18, hit it to about 3 feet and closed with birdie. That said, Tiger is pleased with how things are starting for him in 2018.
I think I've come around very quickly. I've only played 10 rounds. And so I know people are saying that I've been, you know, a little erratic, a little inconsistent, but it's 10 rounds. It's not that many. And I looked up some of my stats last night. I want to see how I rank. I'm not even on the rankings. I hadn't played enough rounds. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's basically you know, how my comeback has been so far this year. I just really haven't played a lot.
You heard Tiger Woods say there, it's a small sample size in 2018, and the most recent return to the PGA Tour. And I go back to a conversation I had with him a couple weeks ago at the Honda Classic, where he told me he's learning how to feel to play tournament golf again. It has been so long. It does not happen overnight, Ryan, and so far so good. He says it is a process and it is a progressional upward climb, and right now he feels like he's progressing in the right manner.
I appreciate that, Burko. A little bit more from you later on in the program, back with Tripp. And we sat down with his former swing coach, Sean Foley, and his opinion was Tiger does just need reps, and 4 out of 5 weeks is going to be a big start in that direction. Let's focus in on this week, though, and specifically tomorrow on the Copperhead course. What's the biggest key to success?
Well, you know, I say this every time. I mean, especially on these type of golf courses that are primarily second shot golf courses, you got to play from the fairway. And Tiger has got to do that. I mean, he's got to put the tee ball in the fairway. A couple of things to note. He doesn't have to hit driver a lot here. When he hits driver, he has not hit it well in competition. Now, his driving accuracy percentage is 45% for the season. That's not very good, but I'm sure it's a lot lower than that when he hits driver. The other thing you cannot do here, Ryan, is stray a long way from the fairway, and this is not good news for Tiger. He's second to last in distance from the edge of the fairway. So when he's missing it wide. And that you cannot do that here. You're going to find yourself in some spots that's very difficult to recover from on this golf course. So the good news for Tiger is this is not a golf course that's that long. It was the 4th shortest driving distance on the PGA Tour. So that's good news. He can play around the driver, but when he hits the driver, he needs to hit it well.
Not many talking about Tiger winning just yet. It's still the conversation, like this week at the Valspar. Does he make the cut cut? Does he miss the cut? If he makes it, give me some key holes that he's going to have to play well.
A couple of things. I mean, there's some really hard holes here that you've got to that really have to get your attention. And two holes on the back nine in particular are different in exactly different ways. Is the 11th hole is the first one, 575-yard par 5. You got to take advantage of these par 5s. Number 1 and number 11 were the two easiest par 5s, and you got to hit this fairway. If you hit this fairway, it is a par 4 from there, but you see it pinches in at those bunkers. It's very, very narrow. If you get in those trees, it's very difficult to lay up where you have a short wedge to the green. You're going to have a longer club if you're in trouble off the tee to the right in particular. And then you fast forward to the first hole of the Snake Pit, the 16th hole. This is always one of the most difficult par 4s on the PGA Tour. The good news, you can hit a long iron, leave yourself a lot longer club in. Most players hit 3-wood on this tee. Very few players actually hit driver. But at 475 yards, the way the angle into this green, you need to be in this fairway to take advantage of the different hole locations. So again, 11th is one of those holes that he needs to take advantage of. And if you find the fairway, you can take advantage of it. And the 16th, if you don't find the fairway, you're either in the water or in the trees, and you can make some big numbers.
All right, let's project out to a really good week for Tiger, a week where maybe he does have a chance to top 10 or even contend on the weekend. Makes the cut, has a chance to contend. What aspect of this golf course could help him get that far down the road?
A unique aspect of this golf course is the fact there are 5 par 3s, okay? So that takes one of those holes that he has to hit a tee ball out of play. What Burko said about his iron game being a little suspect today, I've seen some really good iron play out of Tiger. We saw it at times at Honda. We definitely saw it at Farmers. So I hope that iron game is there for Tiger. If that is effect, the par 3s are the key. You got to take advantage of that. And you got 5 bites at the apple on those par 3s.
Well, we know everyone in Tampa excited to see Tiger Woods, but he is not the only star. How about some of these star-studded tee times? Rory with Justin Rose and Gary Woodland early at 7:45. Sergio with Adam Scott and Matt Kuchar at 7:56. Stricker, Webb Simpson, and Charlie Hoffman at 8:07. And then at 12:46, two of the biggest guns in the field, plus Henrik Stenson, who ain't too shabby. Going at 12:46, it would be Tiger, Jordan Spieth, and Henrik Stenson. Now, as far as Rory and Jordan go, they've both struggled comparing themselves to the standard they have set for themselves, but both optimistic about the future.
I actually really like where I'm at right this second in regards to approaching Augusta. Ball striking's all there to win golf tournaments. It's just a matter of seeing a couple putts go in and getting comfortable early into a tournament and gaining that confidence. And these first rounds have just set me back this year. But talked with Michael yesterday. We're in a very similar position in 2015 at this very moment. So a tremendous year can take place from here on out. I really consider the Masters the start of the golf season. With anything leading into it as preparation for the Masters. So this tournament, bringing really good vibes, being here, can do a lot for me going forward for the rest of the season.
I played okay at Riviera. Felt like, on the Saturday I could have shot a better score and could have got myself a little closer to contention on Sunday. And then the Honda was a tough week. My swing got a little out of sync in the wind and made a couple of big numbers on 17, which didn't help. So hopefully, I said this yesterday, hopefully the Snake Pit's a little better to me than the Bear Trap was back then. I actually played quite a bit of golf last week, so it was a week off, but did a bit of practice, played a lot of golf, and feel a little more refreshed. And this is the first of 3 weeks on the spin here, so looking forward to getting back at it and hopefully giving myself a chance.
Joined now by Jaime Diaz and Tim Roseford. And guys, just heard from both Jordan Spieth and Rory McIlroy. On most weeks, they can be the star attraction all by themselves. We get both of them in the field along with Tiger Woods. But let's focus in on both Rory and Jordan. I said leading in, neither of them have really lived up to the standard that they have set for themselves thus far in 2018. Who needs a good week more, Jaime? Is it Rory or Jordan?
In my opinion, it's Rory right now because, his game is just not in great shape, and he's, drifting into that area where this could be a second lost year in a row. I mean, there's a suspicion, is he getting better, actually? These other young guys seem to progress. What is Rory adding to his game? And he's, talking about his issues with the wind and timing, and it sounds like easily fixed. But until he does something, We're not going to know that for sure. And he says himself, I need to win some golf tournaments. Of course, the subtext of this is all the Masters. You know, getting ready for that. He's going to go for the Grand Slam. He's been top 10 the last 4 years, but he hasn't been deep into contention on the back nine ever. And so playing well this week would make that more possible.
I'm going with Spieth, and for the same reason that you went with Rory, it is about the Masters, obviously, at least in his mind. That's what he's going with right now. But the fact is that he hasn't won since the Open Championship, 14 tournaments. He's had sort of an average season. The narrative is the same, though. You look at his putting stats, the guy who was the best putter in the world, the Steph Curry of PGA Tour, is outside the top 107 putting categories, 7. But he's saying the same things almost every week. It's an alignment thing. It's a byproduct of being sick earlier this year, and that he and Michael Greller are looking at it at this point in time very similarly to where they did in 2015 when they went out and had a great year when they won the Masters and the U.S. Open.
You know, I think Jordan's abilities have been on better display so far. He's not in the same spot as Rory, and he's gone into the Masters not playing that great. And secondly, he's got the greatest record at the Masters of anybody. He's led 9 rounds. It's pretty amazing. So I think he's building okay. It's not perfect. He hasn't won, but I think he's in better shape than Rory.
At least Rory had a chance to win a golf tournament, though, Ryan, because you go back to the desert. Haotong Li, you know, took him out, and Haotong Li is going to be a great player someday, but he shouldn't be beating Rory McIlroy, especially in the Middle East.
Well, Jordan's got to figure out those 5-footers. That's first and foremost on great greens this week at Copperhead. I'd like to see him clean it up inside 5 feet, that is for sure. A lot more still to come on Golf Central, just getting warmed up. Henrik Stenson has played some of the best golf of his career at the Valspar. Does Stenson expect that to continue this week? Plus, we take a closer look at the Copperhead course and the always challenging Snake Pit.
Golf Central is brought to you by America's biopharmaceutical companies. Go boldly. Why golf later when you can golf now? Instantly book tee times at over 6,000 courses.